On a distant planet, humanity's greatest discovery becomes its deadliest challenge. When an ancient time-controlling artifact is unearthed on Xeron, Captain Michael Holt and his team must choose between scientific progress and respecting sacred traditions. As tensions rise between humans and the native Xerians, one decision could alter the course of history itself, or destroy it completely. What would you sacrifice to control time? Watch until the end to uncover the shocking truth behind the artifact's power. Don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending sci-fi adventures. The crimson suns of Xeron cast long shadows across the jagged landscape as Captain Michael Holt adjusted his environmental suit's visor. Before him stretched the excavation site that had consumed their resources for 7 solar cycles. The air shimmered with heat waves despite being artificially regulated by their atmospheric processors. Behind him, Dr. Alicia Vane meticulously catalogued soil samples while Thomas Reed calibrated the quantum scanners. They had followed the energy signatures for months, chasing anomalies that defied known physics. The object appeared to be manipulating temporal currents around it, creating ripples that affected molecular decay rates in nearby minerals. Every morning started with renewed hope and ended with more questions than answers. Their instruments showed readings that contradicted fundamental laws of nature. Particles existing in multiple states simultaneously, gravitational fluctuations that shouldn't occur on this scale. Captain Holt maintained strict protocols, knowing that even minor miscalculations could have catastrophic consequences when dealing with something as unpredictable as time manipulation. The crew worked tirelessly, driven by equal parts scientific curiosity and professional ambition, though the weight of their responsibility grew heavier with each passing day. The initial readings had come during routine stellar mapping when their instruments detected irregular fluctuations in the local space-time fabric. At first, they dismissed it as equipment malfunction until multiple redundant systems confirmed the phenomenon. The object appeared to be manipulating temporal currents around it, creating ripples that affected molecular decay rates in nearby minerals. Dr. Vane's analysis showed accelerated evolutionary patterns in the surrounding flora, suggesting prolonged exposure to some form of time dilation field. Thomas spent countless hours developing specialized containment protocols, knowing that even minor miscalculations could result in catastrophic temporal feedback loops. Meanwhile, Captain Holt coordinated with Earth Command about their unprecedented find, careful not to reveal too much until they understood what exactly they were dealing with. Each transmission back to Earth felt like walking a tightrope. They needed support and resources, but feared triggering a military response before establishing proper diplomatic channels. The crew maintained constant vigilance, running simulations and cross-referencing data against every known temporal theory, yet nothing quite fit the observed phenomena. Nights were filled with heated debates about whether they were dealing with technology, biology, or something entirely beyond human comprehension. Their first encounter with the Xerians occurred unexpectedly during a routine surface scan. Emerging from underground tunnels, the natives moved with fluid grace, their elongated limbs catching the light of twin suns. Leader Eldrin stepped forward, his ceremonial robes adorned with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change like liquid metal. Through their universal translator, he warned them to leave immediately, calling the site Eteris, their sacred nexus of time. The Xerians' knowledge of temporal mechanics astonished the scientists, concepts they expressed through complex harmonic frequencies rather than conventional language. Despite their peaceful demeanor, the intensity in Eldrin's eyes communicated clear resolve. They would defend Eteris at any cost. Captain Holt recognized the delicate balance they now had to maintain, pushing forward with scientific discovery while respecting cultural sensitivities. He ordered increased security measures while initiating diplomatic protocols, knowing that any misstep could escalate into violent conflict. The crew found themselves fascinated by the Xerians' unique physiology, which seemed adapted to withstand temporal distortions that would prove fatal to humans. These initial observations hinted at a civilization whose entire existence revolved around understanding and respecting the flow of time. As excavation progressed, the artifact began revealing more of its secrets. It pulsed with a rhythm reminiscent of cardiac activity, though on a cosmic scale. Thomas discovered that its core structure defied known material science, appearing simultaneously solid and fluid, existing in multiple states at once. Dr. Vane documented strange biological mutations occurring in nearby samples, where cellular structures exhibited traits from different evolutionary stages simultaneously. Captain Holt found himself caught between advancing scientific discovery and respecting Xerian beliefs. The artifact's influence extended beyond physical properties. Crew members reported experiencing fragmented memories, déjà vu episodes, and occasional glimpses of alternate timelines during their shifts near the excavation site. These phenomena created tension within the team, as some interpreted them as divine warnings while others saw them as valuable data points. Thomas developed increasingly sophisticated monitoring systems to track these temporal anomalies, though each new discovery raised more ethical questions about their right to study such powerful forces. Meanwhile, diplomatic relations with the Xerians remained precarious, with Eldrin growing visibly concerned about the increasing frequency of temporal disturbances around their sacred site. Tensions escalated when the Xerians demonstrated their ability to manipulate time fields around their settlement. During a diplomatic meeting arranged by Captain Holt, Eldrin revealed that their civilization had guarded Edoras for millennia, using its power to maintain balance between past, present, and future. However, this guardianship came at a cost. Their society remained technologically stagnant while other species advanced. The captain recognized the ethical dilemma. Should humanity advance its understanding of time manipulation at the expense of another species' cultural heritage? These philosophical debates continued late into artificial nights aboard their orbital station, with each member grappling with personal convictions against professional obligations. Dr. Vane argued that true scientific progress required respecting indigenous knowledge, while Thomas believed that technological advancement justified certain risks. Captain Holt found himself mediating increasingly heated discussions, knowing that Earth Command expected results while the Xerians watched their every move with growing suspicion. The situation was further complicated by unexplained equipment failures and temporal glitches that seemed to increase in frequency and severity, suggesting that Edoras itself might be reacting to their presence. Thomas made a breakthrough in understanding the artifact's interface when he noticed its surface responded to specific harmonic frequencies matching those used by the Xerians. Working with Dr. Vane, they developed a non-invasive scanning method using bioresonant imaging. This approach allowed them to map internal structures without direct contact, revealing a complex network resembling neural pathways more than mechanical circuitry. Meanwhile, Captain Holt initiated daily communication sessions with Eldrin, attempting to build trust through shared knowledge. These exchanges uncovered fascinating parallels between human and Xerian concepts of causality and free will, though fundamental differences remained regarding the artifact's purpose and proper use. The crew began documenting their experiences with temporal phenomena more systematically, correlating them with local environmental factors and Xerian activity patterns. Dr. Vane theorized that Edoras might be a living entity rather than mere technology, explaining its apparent consciousness and selective responsiveness. Thomas worked feverishly to adapt their equipment to handle the artifact's unique properties, while Captain Holt navigated increasingly complex diplomatic waters, trying to balance scientific curiosity with cultural sensitivity. The situation reached crisis point when seismic activity threatened to destabilize the excavation site. Instrument readings indicated the artifact was amplifying natural tectonic movements, potentially creating dangerous temporal vortexes. Thomas worked frantically to develop stabilization protocols while Dr. Vane analyzed how these disturbances affected local ecosystems. Captain Holt faced mounting pressure from Earth Command to secure the artifact before it could cause planetary-scale disruptions. The Xerians, interpreting these events as confirmation of their warnings, began gathering in larger numbers around the site, their temporal shields creating visible distortions in the air. Eldrin delivered an ultimatum: cease operations or face consequences beyond human comprehension. The crew found themselves working around the clock, implementing emergency safety measures while maintaining diplomatic communications. Equipment malfunctions became more frequent, and several team members experienced severe temporal disorientation, reporting vivid hallucinations of alternate realities. Thomas developed a temporary containment field using modified Xerian harmonic frequencies, buying them precious time to negotiate a peaceful resolution while preventing potential catastrophe. During a particularly intense negotiation session, an unexpected event shifted everyone's perspective. A small fragment broke off from the main artifact, triggering a localized time dilation field that affected both humans and Xerians equally. For several critical minutes, all parties experienced multiple potential futures simultaneously, some showing mutual destruction, others depicting cooperation leading to unprecedented technological advancement. When normal time flow resumed, both sides emerged with newfound understanding. Captain Holt proposed establishing joint research protocols, respecting Xerian traditions while allowing controlled study of the artifact's properties. Eldrin, after consulting with his council through their temporal communication network, agreed to consider this compromise. The experience fundamentally changed how both species viewed their relationship with Edoras. Thomas immediately began analyzing the temporal field's characteristics, documenting how it interacted with different biological and technological systems. Dr. Vane focused on the psychological effects experienced by those caught in the time dilation, discovering that the artifact seemed to prioritize learning over destruction. Captain Holt seized this opportunity to strengthen diplomatic ties, organizing regular exchange programs between human scientists and Xerian temporal masters. Implementing the joint research initiative proved challenging yet rewarding. Thomas worked closely with Xerian temporal engineers, learning to interpret their harmonic-based technology while teaching them about human scientific methodology. Dr. Vane discovered that the artifact's influence extended to genetic memories, explaining why both species experienced similar visions during temporal disturbances. Captain Holt served as mediator during inevitable conflicts arising from cultural differences, gradually building genuine rapport with Eldrin. Their combined efforts led to remarkable discoveries about stable time manipulation techniques that neither species could have achieved alone. However, Earth Command grew increasingly impatient with the slow progress, pressuring Holt to accelerate acquisition of practical applications. The crew found themselves caught between advancing scientific knowledge and maintaining ethical standards. Regular demonstrations of their findings helped ease tensions, showing concrete evidence of cooperation's benefits. Thomas developed hybrid technologies combining human engineering precision with Xerian intuitive understanding, while Dr. Vane documented unprecedented biological adaptations in species exposed to controlled temporal fields. Slowly but surely, a new paradigm of scientific collaboration emerged. As understanding deepened, the true nature of Edoras revealed itself through subtle clues pieced together by the research team. The artifact wasn't merely a tool for time manipulation, but a living consciousness maintaining temporal equilibrium across multiple dimensions. Dr. Vane's biological expertise helped identify proto-organic components within its structure, while Thomas mapped out self-repair mechanisms resembling cellular mitosis. The Xerians shared ancient texts describing how Edoras chose its guardians based on species' readiness to wield time responsibly. This revelation forced both humans and Xerians to confront uncomfortable truths about their respective civilizations' preparedness for such power. Captain Holt organized extensive training programs emphasizing responsible temporal manipulation, incorporating both scientific principles and spiritual teachings. Thomas developed sophisticated monitoring systems capable of detecting minute temporal fluctuations across vast distances, revealing that Edoras' influence extended far beyond Xeron's atmosphere. Dr. Vane's research suggested that the artifact might be part of a larger galactic network regulating time flow throughout the universe. Earth Command's demands grew more aggressive, threatening to send military reinforcements if tangible results weren't delivered soon. Captain Holt found himself torn between duty to his superiors and loyalty to the fragile peace he'd helped establish with the Xerians. During a clandestine meeting with Eldrin, they devised a risky plan to demonstrate Edoras' capabilities safely while protecting its sanctity. The artifact responded positively to their combined intentions, generating a controlled temporal field that allowed observers to witness historical events without altering them. This proof of concept satisfied Earth Command's requirement for evidence while preserving the Xerians' spiritual connection to their sacred site. The demonstration showcased both species' commitment to responsible exploration, proving that cooperation yielded better results than competition. Thomas integrated new safety protocols based on these findings, creating multi-layered protection systems combining technological and biological components. Dr. Vane documented the psychological effects of observing historical events through Edoris's temporal lens, noting how it fostered greater empathy and understanding between different cultures. The demonstration proved transformative for all involved. Scientists witnessed firsthand how reckless temporal interference had nearly destroyed earlier civilizations, evidenced by temporal echoes still resonating through protected zones. Thomas developed new safety protocols incorporating both human engineering principles and Xeron temporal wisdom. Dr. Vane's research revealed how Edoris maintained ecosystem stability through subtle temporal adjustments, explaining the planet's unique biodiversity. Captain Holt formalized agreements establishing permanent joint research facilities staffed by both species, with strict guidelines ensuring responsible exploration of time manipulation technologies. Even Earth Command acknowledged the wisdom of this approach after reviewing comprehensive documentation of potential risks. Regular exchange programs flourished, with human scientists learning traditional Xeron methods while sharing modern analytical techniques. Thomas pioneered hybrid technologies that revolutionized temporal science, creating devices capable of precise temporal observation without disrupting natural time flow. Dr. Vane's work led to breakthroughs in understanding how temporal fields influenced biological evolution, opening new avenues for medical research. Months of collaboration yielded unexpected benefits beyond scientific advancement. The hybrid research methods developed by combining human analytical approaches with Xeron intuitive understanding created breakthroughs in multiple fields. Thomas's modified scanning equipment now detected previously invisible temporal phenomena throughout the galaxy, suggesting Edoris might be part of a larger network. Dr. Vane identified biological markers indicating temporal awareness in certain species, opening new avenues for studying consciousness evolution. Captain Holt observed how regular interaction fostered genuine friendship between humans and Xerians, breaking down centuries-old prejudices about primitive versus advanced civilizations. Eldrin's people began cautiously embracing technological improvements compatible with their traditional values. Joint research teams discovered that temporal manipulation could be used for healing purposes, repairing damage caused by previous reckless experiments elsewhere in the galaxy. Thomas developed educational programs teaching responsible temporal science, while Dr. Vane worked on documenting the long-term effects of controlled temporal exposure. The success of their collaboration inspired similar initiatives on other planets, spreading the philosophy of respectful scientific exploration. However, peace brought new challenges. Other galactic powers learned of Edoris's existence and demanded access to its secrets. Smuggling rings attempted to steal research data, while unscrupulous corporations offered astronomical sums for exclusive rights. Captain Holt worked tirelessly to protect the fragile coalition while expanding security measures. Thomas implemented quantum encryption protocols, so advanced they bordered on temporal cloaking technology. Dr. Vane developed biological countermeasures using local flora adapted to Edoris's influence. The Xerians contributed their own defense mechanisms, proving their temporal mastery could rival any technological solution. Together, they created a multi-layered protection system, making unauthorized access practically impossible. Regular drills prepared them for potential threats, while diplomatic channels ensured other species understood the importance of their work. The crew found themselves constantly innovating new security measures, adapting to evolving threats while maintaining open lines of communication with interested parties. Thomas's hybrid technologies proved particularly effective at detecting and neutralizing attempted intrusions, while Dr. Vane's biological solutions provided natural barriers that complemented technological defenses. The legacy of Edoris extended far beyond Xeron. Its influence transformed interstellar relations, establishing precedent for cooperation between species at different technological levels. Captain Holt returned to Earth as a celebrated diplomat, having forged an alliance that would shape galactic politics for centuries. Thomas's innovations revolutionized temporal science, while Dr. Vane's discoveries redefined understanding of biological evolution. The Xerians, under Eldrin's leadership, emerged from isolation as respected equals in the galactic community. Edoras continued fulfilling its ancient purpose, now guided by wisdom from two species united in responsibility. Their success inspired similar collaborations across the galaxy, proving that scientific progress and cultural preservation could coexist harmoniously. The Joint Research Facility on Xeron became a model for interstellar cooperation, attracting scientists from dozens of species eager to learn responsible temporal science. Captain Holt's diplomatic achievements earned him a permanent position mediating similar situations elsewhere, carrying the lessons of Xeron throughout known space. Remember, every great discovery begins with respecting boundaries, whether technological or cultural. If you enjoyed this journey through time and ethics, subscribe for more thought-provoking sci-fi adventures where humanity meets the unknown.